All right, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for is here. Dun, 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 dun. It's super chilly out. Wow. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Tomorrow is going to be the day that the owner of the property attempts to makes an attempt to come over and try to help my garage get back to where it came from. So high hopes are for that, guys. We'll definitely keep you updated on that. It's huge. That what he does is huge. You know, if he steps up and says, hey, this is my fire and I'm going to go ahead and help you and rebuild it, I mean, that'd be amazing. You know, granted, I'll take a huge loss on the stuff that I lost, but it wouldn't be as much of a loss as I thought it would be, right? I still have another garage that's functioning. In the event he doesn't come, I definitely have to winterize. It's 2.5 cars, right? Ain't it? Yeah. 2.5 cars. All right, so the owner just came here and he basically just took measurements to get siding and get roofing. He asked me if I wanted to go half on it. I said, I'll do the drywall. You know, I told him, I said, I'll do the drywall, you do the outside, you do everything. And, you know, I was okay with that because I didn't have drywall in my garage anyways. So, you know, hopefully he gets everything done and back to secure. And that's pretty much. I didn't like how the guy said that they would come back the next warm day. That's how because we're in Ohio, guys. There might not be another warm day till next season. Monday started, guys. Fire report? Yeah, insurance and no insurance. I don't have insurance. I was transitioning, so yeah, it's gonna be a huge loss on my end. Trying to investigate it all, make sure everything's cool and that it happened the way that we thought it happened. So I've been trying to do my thorough investigation myself because of the way that the fire was. It was a little.
Yeah, windy day. Your neighbor had a little bonfire going.
Yeah, but the other side of the fence wasn't even touched though, and that's what made me. Yeah, that's what made me like, why in the world was the other side of the fence not touched?
Yeah, probably here.
So. Guys, another thing I want you to take into consideration is I don't want to shove a camera in anybody's face, so sometimes these angles are just necessary.
Chief Neil, we got somebody here to see you.
I did
All right, come on, guys. Follow me.
I remember this guy.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Anthony.
We're here to get 2 copies of the police report or the fire report.
Okay.
Yeah, Tony wants one. I'm gonna grab one. I've been doing a thorough investigation, man. So pretty much what I wanted to report to you was when you came by and you said, you know, do I have anybody that is like out to get me? There has definitely been an incident recently where a known mentally unstable, like homeless guy broke into the side of my porch. I don't know if anybody no. Well, we made a whole police.
You hear that all the time.
Yeah, we made a police report and we got the guy arrested. We got him charged.
When was that?
This was exactly like 3 months ago. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because of how unusual the fire looked. Mm-hmm. You know, I was like, why in the world would it be so unusual the way it is? Now this is where the story gets really interesting, Marshall. So when Tony came over to talk to me about the situation, he brought the guy that was watching the fire. Now that guy claims to have seen that guy that broke into that didn't break it in.
All right, back up. I gotta get a hold of all this. Say
Okay.
it again now, so I understand what you're saying.
So basically, so far, what we know, there was a guy. I got the guy charged that he didn't break in, but there was something there. He stole from the side of my porch.
Right.
Got him charged. That was a whole big ordeal. That was about 3 months ago. I can give you the exact date.
Right.
Now, I don't know how the guy that was watching the fire found out about that situation. Okay. But he brought that up when Tony brought him over. So the first initial conversation me and Tony are having He got there, he pulled up. I was telling him.
Tony was the one that actually brought Luther, who was the guy watching the fire.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his name, Luther.
Yeah,
I don't know. That guy the guy that can't talk. So that guy was brought. So Tony and Luther are talking to me, and Luther, and I got this on film. Luther brought up that he's seen that individual in the alleyway with 2 girls. I don't know how true that is.
Now, where is the alleyway in relation to like that area?
So the alleyway. So I'm 1 house away from the alleyway.
Okay, so
It's very close. Yeah. If you were to spy on my garage, you would come from the alleyway. Right. So I found that really interesting. I really did. I was like, okay, number 1, how do you know about that situation? Right. Number 2, why would you bring that up? And that guy, like I said.
So what I'll tell you is what first comes into my mind. So now, being that it's 3 months ago, that seems a little bit too long for someone to be spiteful or vengeful, under the circumstances.
And then arson in broad daylight is like very.
What plays more into my mind is the fact that Tony and Luther are trying to get the onus off of them.
That's what I'm thinking too. That's what I've concluded. Yes. Because I actually was gonna call you like 3 days ago, after I thought about this, but I didn't want to bring anything to your attention that I didn't do my thorough investigation. Sure. Now I was weary about this gas can that I found behind the garage, but I looked back at my footage, and that gas can, I believe, came from inside of my garage. Because I was gonna, like, somebody would know that. And then another thing is I thought that based off of your profession and all your guys' other professions, I feel like you guys would know if the fire was started like through a gas can and somebody putting gas on it.
Right. Well, no, and not necessarily. That's not necessarily the case, unfortunately. So the problem is, because of the damage that you had, see, typically as an investigator, what I'll do is I'm able to determine, typically most of the time, where exactly that fire started. And what we do is we look for burn patterns. Right. So burn patterns and char, the depth of the char. I mean, there's all kind of warning signs out there that show you where the fire actually came from, where it started from. With yours, because of the wind, whenever it gets like that, and the outside was so badly damaged, and all the siding was taken off, and everything else,
it was hard,
almost impossible. Yeah,
because you'll look
exactly
right.
And that's the issue that you have.
And I'm still like flabbergasted about the fact that the other side of my fence was not burnt at all. Yeah. And that the boxes on the other side of the fence, which is probably one of the most flammable things other than the leaves, were not caught on fire at all. And now I did everything I possibly could to investigate. I talked to the neighbor next to Luther that initially called. And then I talked to the 2 ladies next to my house that warned me initially. And the 2 ladies next to my house told me that they've been burning since 10 o'clock and that pretty much that's most likely them. Yeah. Now, the Puerto Rican guy next to Luther told me that he was cutting down a tree in the front of his house when that Luther dude came running and said, "Help, call 911, call 911." And that's pretty much all he's seen. He said he didn't see a guy on a bike. He said he didn't. I asked him, I was like, you probably wouldn't be familiar with this guy, but did you remember seeing this guy with this orange bike? Right. He said no. Yeah. And he said that they're always loaded. He said they're always loaded next door, and that, that it most likely would have been him as well. Yeah. Now, I concluded that it probably was them, but the way that started is so unorthodox and so unusual that on my side and my fence, there's 2 separate parts that are completely burnt, but the rest of it isn't. And is it? Okay. Yeah.
So because that wind was so strong, it would have kept the fire going in one specific direction. So in other words, and we see that all the time when it's really windy outside. Yeah. So what it'll do is it's blowing from that back side and blowing the garage up. So this is the back of the garage. Yeah. That wind is blowing this whole side right here, and it's blowing the fire this way. So as it's coming out, anything that's over on this side over here, as it goes this direction,
it's not going to go that way.
It's not touching it as much because most of it's being blown in this direction.
So maybe that's why my back didn't get burnt.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. So
yeah, because typically when there's no wind, it'll run all the way around.
Right.
But that was just keeping it at bay until we got there, and then we just got it before it got to the box.
And that's another thing. Real quick before I say what I was going to say. So this is a prime case of embers going across a fence, because what proves that is the fact that my other side isn't damaged or the boxes. If that's not bigger proof that this is possible, I don't know what is.
And that's why I said before, I'm 99.99% positive that's what caused that fire.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't have proof.
Yeah, and then when you came by and asked about somebody, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, let me let him know. But I wanted to do my due diligence.
You get a jog in your head that says, wait a minute, there is something there that could be it.
Yeah.
Because the time frame was so long, that's not typical. If those types of individuals, when you piss them off,
yeah,
you know, if you piss them off in that way, especially someone like that,
he's quick to react. It's not going to marinate for 3 months.
No.
Now this guy's house is like has like voodoo dolls in front of it and stuff. Like I did my investigation for sure. The second company, it's called Olight. Very good flashlight company. The flashlight company is amazing. It's super bright lights. And they want to reward the firefighters that attended and put out the fire so quick. So I want to be in contact with you about that. If we can possibly give them an Olight for their personal or...
yeah, that's something now that the fire chief will have to be involved with, because you're talking about donating a product or something like that.
Yeah,
that's something that the fire chief would have to be involved with. I couldn't tell you yes or no on that.
Okay.
He's gone.
Okay, I'll get his contact.
So he's gone this week.
Yeah.
He probably would not want me to do that either, but I can give him your number.
Okay, yeah. Give him my number. I don't want to bug him, but I definitely would like to give them. And if they don't have to use it like during their, during a fire, right? I don't want that to come down on me. But they can take it for their own personal home, and use them. And they're really expensive, like flashlights. Like the Olights are really expensive, and they're good brand. Olight, yeah. Like the bottoms of them, they're like magnetic. You can put them, and they're charged, and they have like different like modes. You can flash strobe light, all that. Yeah. So it's just like a little token of gratitude, man, because they did fantastic. So. Hang on real quick. Let me get these. 2 copies, you said, right? So you said he's gonna be gone for this week?
Yeah, he's gone this week. Yeah.
Okay.
He should be back Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's huge, man. Yeah, I definitely been going, CIA mode, these past few days trying to figure out what happened in my garage because, even in the back siding.
Have you made any progress on fixing it up?
No, Tony came over and did measurements on the siding and the felt for the roof, and he said he's gonna fix it on the next warm day. Yeah. But when's the next warm day? I mean.
Wait on a warm day. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm going to try to see. I'm probably going to have to bite this one on the chin, man, and try to see if I can,
That's my best advice. But again, I never want you to say, if you feel you need to go to a lawyer, consult.
Right. But it'd be pointless. Oh, yeah, stable, please. It'd be pointless. But, man, I want to say thank you so much for the advice, man, and being so awesome about the situation, man.
No worries at all.
Honestly.
That's what we're here for.
One of the scariest situations I've ever been. All right, guys, so that's pretty much what the fire marshal said. Amazing dude, man. We got to vote that fire marshal, top fire marshal. But yeah, so yeah, guys, I mean, that's the situation. You've seen his opinion. I'm kind of agreeing with his opinion. I really don't think that fire was caused by the other guy, especially because a lot of you guys made it completely clear that the gas can was not there originally. So we definitely concluded that the gas can was not there originally. It was inside of the garage. So yeah, guys, I mean, it looks like I'm gonna have to bite this one on the chin here. Or bite the bullet. How do you do that? Bite the bullet? Yeah, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet, guys. All right, guys, so this right here would be the fire report. Man, if this was true, property 35,000, contents 15,000, total 50,000. Man, I think it's going to be way more than that. Although the property itself might be a little bit less, it cost me a little bit less. The contents are way more. But look at that. Wow, 11 extinguishment by fire service personnel. So there was 11 firefighters on the scene. Man, what a serious amount of damage. I definitely think I've lost more than that as far as the contents in the inside. But let's see, total number of apparatus on call. There was 7 apparatuses, so that means what? There was probably 7 like backpacks or something. Yeah, COVID-19 was a factor in this incident. No, COVID-19, man, you blame COVID-19 for everything. If anything happens, COVID-19 did it. So, yeah, okay, so, yeah, this is pretty much, this is going to be the fire report, guys. All right, it says narrative. It says Channel 1 arrived on the scene, established command, reported detached garage on fire, not in house, all occupants accounted for. P1 arrived on the scene, stretched line for knockdown exposure protection. M1 arrived on the scene, assisted the establishing water supply. Cap 1 reported knockdown, requested additional line, verified no extension to the house. P3 crew pulled second line. P3 operator assisted with water supply. P1 reported face-to-face, all clear primary in garage. Did walkthrough of house as precaution, found no signs of smoke, fire, or injuries. P7, P4 were instructed to remain staged. So I'm reading it word for word what's on the paper. FPB requested to the scene. P3 reported large illegal burn other side of the fence behind the incident. P4 instructed to extinguish and control scene until released to PFB. Command 1 requested pump fill. Now, I don't know if these are like codes. These might be codes for the fire. I don't know what it is, but I want to read this to you guys. Cap 1 reported fire out overhauling. P7 instructed to cover single pumper responses stage at Central. Civilians and LFD personnel reported okay. No smoke inhalation or injuries. Channel 1 released life care. Yeah, so I said that there was no injuries as far as I go, but we definitely inhaled smoke. There was definitely a lot of smoke inhaling. Okay, and then P3T1 assisted P1 with picking up P4 controlled area. PFB arrived and were briefed. Channel 1 released to the scene. PT in service. I don't know, all these P's and B's, and that's it. P4 released the scene. PFB. So, and if we bend this down and we look at this right here, check this out. It says acres burned. It says acres of fire origin. Item fire ignited. It says type of material. Factors contributing to the ignition. Human factors contributing. So there's, look, it says unattended or unsupervised person. There you go, guys. So I don't know. Again, oh, here goes another. What does it say? It says acres burned from the woodland from heat source. Fires confined to object of origin. Cause of ignition. Cause under investigation. So there you go. So I think that this was an unsupervised fire. I think that this irresponsibility is going to cost me over $50,000 in damage. And then I want to hear what you guys think. I know I've been seeing a lot of the comments. I really appreciate everybody that's been tuning in to the episode recently. This fire has been beyond tragic. And I appreciate you guys watching, guys. Look, Grandpa, you remember your friend from the flea market? I ran into one of my grandfather's old friends that he's seen at the flea market, and I wanted to put this on the video so he can see it. What's your name?
Willie.
Willie, say hello to my grandfather.
Hi there, buddy. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. You know, getting old is a lot of work, but we can handle it, man. I know you can handle it. I miss seeing you. I see your grandson all the time, so that's great. You know, I see him in you, you know, and God bless you, man, and take care of you and your whole family. And you have a nice Thanksgiving and enjoy all that turkey, man.
And then this is Willie, Grandpa. This is Willie, the old teacher. Willie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? How long have you been reselling?
Well, I've been doing that for 50 years.
50 years, right?
50
Setting
years.
up.
Yeah, and you know, I still run that museum,
Oh.
Latino Museum. I've been doing that for 12 years now out of Lorain.
And where's that
So,
at?
we're a traveling museum, so we don't have it. And
What's the company name?
I remember the first time you came to my garage sale and you bought that antique frame so that you could do some painting.
Wow.
You know, I always enjoy your art when you display it at Lorain Arts Council, and I love seeing it because you have an imagination, you know, in you, and it needs to come out. And truly, I love your art. You know,
If you could describe his art, how would you give a description of his art?
It's different. It's invigorating, and it's attractive because I've never seen, and I've gone through a lot of museums in my lifetime, never seen that type of work. So you're unique when you do your work. And I love it. I love looking at it and seeing any new pieces you can do. And I know it's hard now, but those pieces are gonna live on, man. I tell you.
Yeah, man.
You know? And they need to be in a museum like mine.
Well, maybe hopefully you can have a part in that, man.
Yeah.
That's a message from Willie, man. We see Willie all the time at the flea market, and there it is, message to Grandpa.
God bless you, my friend.
All right, guys, so we're back inside of the garage. Just a quick update. Two things that kind of surprised me today. Now, the property owner told me that we were going to replace this door right here. We need to get a new door. At first, he said that we would be all right, but guys, look at this. Oh my God, dude, look at the inside of that door. Look at that. Absolutely torched. I have no idea how we're even gonna reuse that door. So he said he's just gonna have to buy me a door. I told him, yeah, I told you guys what I told him already. But this is something that's interesting right here, guys. He said that we could put clamps on this to reuse this garage door. Now, I don't really know how safe that is. I mean, look at that. That does not look, it doesn't even feel safe just being under it. At any time, this door I feel like could like fall on me. But let's see how it closes to see if it's even able to be. Yeah, see, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, hang on a second. Oh. Okay, you see it? Okay, let's see it. Oh my gosh, guys, I don't even think it closes. Okay. I feel like that's the only way to do it. Is like if this gets pushed up like that. Oh, dude. What do you guys think? Man. Yeah, so that's definitely a thing. I definitely want to know what you guys think. Does the door need to be replaced, or can you just put extra ones of these like clamps to fix it? That's definitely something that I want to know. All right, so we're gonna try to open this back up to get some more light. All right, it definitely goes up easier than it goes down. But I want to kind of pan over here so we can see exactly what was saved in the fire. We got a little bit of wallets, a couple other things. Oh, here goes another thing, guys. Real quick, I want to say something. With the leather, guys, the must and the mold or any type of like smell on leather, if you're buying it from the auction, ladies and gentlemen, that leather has smelled like that since way before the fire. Okay. I have not sold any leather that has been in the fire yet. So if you're getting any kind of like weird, like moldy smell, no, Nana just brought it to my attention. That is from the Hoarder House, okay? And then I would suggest, shout out to Purple Peacock, Kathy Earls, Deb's Fantastic Finds. Those three people, they know how to treat the leather and they know how to restore leather. So maybe get advice from those guys. So I figured there's really now George, shout out to George, because George was a great help in determining whether or not to throw certain things away. Because when you're in situations and flustered situations like that, guys, you just want to take the easy way out. You want to throw it all away. It's all bad. It's all damaged. When really that's not necessarily true, because we have things like this that are wrapped in plastic that whether they were wet or whatever or not, they're fine. That is a good, nice fanny pack that you can store all kind. Not only can you store, you know, maybe like an old cell phone or something, but you also have a pocket up front. Then you have a pocket in the back right here, which is a separate pocket, and it's also genuine leather from the 60s. Now this whole entire tote is filled with those, and those are 10 to 15 bucks each, in my opinion, on a resale note all day. And you also have like things like this, like these Godzillas. These are old school 80s Godzillas. I remember when I did a lot of whatnot auctions, I used to get like $3 to $5 for these all day. Can't throw those away because that's very easy. And then things like this, very easy to restore. And things like this, guys, the belts, again, leather restoration is not hard. It's not. As long as it's not like dry rotted and like nasty, it's very easy to polish leather up to get the moisture back in, so where leather is absolutely back to normal. Leather is it's a sought after material for a reason. Leather, I mean, you go back to leather coats and leather jackets. When I was growing up, my mother and all of her friends all had leather. Leather jackets were the thing. So leather, I don't think is ever going to go out of style. And then buying all of this stuff also like gave me an idea of how valuable leather actually is. Now, as far as like the grill goes and like this side of the garage goes, a lot of this side of the garage, I had a chance to actually keep and salvage. So when I refer to this side, I mean the paintball gun, things like that. These bow and arrow, these bows, these are also things that I'd be able to salvage, and they're metal, and even though there's a little smoke smell, it's not like a non-valuable item. But I pretty much, if you take a glance over there, all of that, and I mean everything from that. And now you guys know how much stuff I have. My garage was absolutely filled. And when What the Hales got here and Rob and Conky, when they got here, I already did me and Anthony were working in the garage for a good hour, 2, 3, 4 hours for 2 days already, trying to get things semi-decently looking. So it definitely was a huge process, and we lost a lot, but I'm glad that we had a chance to at least salvage what we could. All right. If we fast forward like 10 minutes later, we all decided to get all this and donate it to a friend of mine that restores clothes and restores shoes, and he can definitely make a couple dollars off of this stuff. So we're going to try to restore the fire here in this instance, because there's a lot of good vintage stuff like this right here. You got New York Yankees track jacket. You'd be able to restore it and get a couple bucks out of it. So that's definitely going to be our good deed of the day. All right, guys, that was the episode. Thank you so much for being worried about me on the fire. Thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you so much for your viewership overall. I'll see you guys later on the next episode of Storage Legends.